Hey everybody, it's Bust with Expedition Trial number 280. Let's see who shows up, see what we can do. And so I do want to call out that this is the first trial of the 2.4 patch. 2.4 patch just came out here quite recently, and so over here in Incubator's Lysandra, she now has access to Frozen Tomb as the actual card. She also has other good cards in the Talia Incubator side. Still don't think it's a particularly exciting card pool, but the options are there. And then over here with Reputation Sivir, I feel like they added one card maybe. I can't quite remember, but I think that option is there as well. But with this, I still kind of have these ideals that we can piece together something with Lysandra. Maybe we should take her. I'm trying to think if there's anything out of the new cards that play reasonably with Yasuo. Not There's not any stuns or recalls. Well, there's the one. I guess we could try to do that. There's the one card out of the LeBlanc card pool that also has Gift of the Rose, Rose of the Desert, whatever, the 5/1 that generates a Guile. Maybe it's enough. All right, well, this could be our chance to try Yasuo here in in the new set. We'll see if it comes together. We'll take this Mega Keg Swain and see if we can't kind of piece this deck together. I think the big thing to call out, we'll get it pulled up on the site here, is if whether or not we're going to end up with those desert roses or whatever it's called. So nonetheless, the site here, it's ftpbus.com. It's where I keep all of my expedition related content. Over in the guide section, I will have the oh, what's it called? My initial impressions up here. This should have come out in the previous day. And so if you want to hear what we think of the 2.4 patch before you get into your next trial, it'll be over here in the guides. But today we're just going to be on the expedition helper. And so, yeah, like the big thing I'm talking about, I'm curious as the big one is if it's in Disruption Darius, where here we go, Thorn of the Rose. This is like the new unit that I'm kind of interested in to see if we can pull off with Yasuo. Yasuo always feels like he's just, a card or two away from being good, and he seems to get like one card added each set, and we'll see if Thorn of the Rose is the card for this set. Kind of the big thing with the previous set was like the Leona pulls with all the stuns. It turned out to be kind of weird and not doing it, but here, the reason we picked Noxus are for these various stuns. We have Arachnid Sentry and now Thorn of the Rose, because you can't just be playing stun cards like Guile and having that be enough. If you have Yasuo on the board, sure, it might be reasonable. If he's not on the board, then it is just way too bad. And so, our good stuns live here. We do have the two units in the Sentry and the Thorn of the Rose. We have the Minotaur Reckoner in the expensive side of things to give us our stuns every turn. And then there is Intimidating Roar as kind of the mass stun to flip our Yasuo. And so that is what we'll be trying to build towards here. In general, like whenever it comes to building these Yasuo decks, I really just recommend if you're going to draft Yasuo, you just want to draft him to be an elusive deck. He's very good at being an aggressive unit. Has the good early part of the curve. It doesn't have Green Glade Duo, but it has Feyblade Twirler in here, and so we'll see how it plays out. I know we just took Swain. The only thing that could be kind of interesting with this Swain is he does have Ravenous Flock in his card pool, but we're realistically going to be looking for some of these Darius cards, and so we're going to place a real high value on these stuns. We're going to try to find some Rose of the Thorns, Desert Roses, and see if we can't piece together the stuns deck. And so with this, ideally we would just be taking the Grenadier City Breaker, but we don't really want to actually be in Mega Keg. We don't want these Mega Keg cards showing up. We want these disruption cards showing up. And so I definitely don't want like two Minas, and I don't like taking decisive maneuvers this early, but I think if we're to see these like disruption cards showing up in the future, that's just kind of the price that we have to pay. And so here, we're never going to take Bilgewater. There's nothing on theme in Bilgewater. Over here in the Solar Winds pack, this is the Yasuo Leona kind of card pool. We do have a Feyblade Twirler. This is a extremely powerful early game unit. Quite reasonable pickup here. Okay. So things are a little interesting. Like the way I kind of want to like tier this off, I like to tier some of these things off to make these picks a little bit easier. Is there a good stun in here? Is there one of these stun units? That's going to be kind of like tier 1. We want to take all the sentries we can find, all the roses we can find, all the concussive palms we can find. We would like one or two of the Minotaur Reckoner. So we don't have any of that. Then we need some kind of like removal spells. Ideally I would be able to pick up this Ravenous Flock, but I don't want anything to do with Blade's Edge. We tend to just end up with like a lot of bad cards in these kind of decks because the Disruption tends to be a fairly weak card pool. We already have Blade's Edge. We don't want Whimsy. We don't want Decisive Maneuver. Will of Ionia is a little bit expensive, and we have 2 Minas, so we have to like really watch ourselves with the quality that we're adding to our deck. And so, at least in this sense, I'm going to add in Young Witch. At least she helps quite a bit on the aggressive side of things. And if we pick up some challengers, she helps to that end as well. Okay, well, here's a stun unit and Yone along with a Fey Blade Twirler. I think that's exactly what we're asking for. Okay, these Blade Twirlers keep showing up. Man, I haven't seen so many of these like ever. This is the most Blade Twirlers. Oh man, I'm getting stoked about that. Okay, things are continuing. So here we do have Sigil of Malice. I don't want to take it. I just want to call out that it used to not be an expedition. It just got added back in the 2.4 patch. And, you can't see it comes with the Glory Seeker. This is, a pretty reasonable stack, and we would be pretty happy with this frequently. But, we have a stun unit down here. I'm not going to pass on it. Okay, well, these continue on. Young Witch number 2 with a Blade Scout. That will work for us. Okay, what can we continue on with? And so, none of these we realistically want in our deck. I'm kind of okay with Deny, but what are we gonna actually deny? Like so many of the cards that we care about now out of Shurima all have burst. Like all of the, you can get Nasus Strike with it, but the vulnerable giving cards all have burst. But I kind of want the Sonic Wave. We do have the 2 Young Witches now, and I do like having a way to give a challenger to our units. Okay. I mean, these cards are kind of on theme. I never really like Retreat or Steel Tempest, but I think we need to get like some amount of stuns. And I mean, we have 3 Fey Blade Twirlers, right? We have to be able to take advantage of this thing. And so Retreat, while not ideal, we do have 1 unit that can play well with it. Man, I hate taking these cards so much, but they're just like actually so on theme here. Okay, how does our top end look? It's like I don't really like drafting these expensive cards because we're going to end up with another Yone. We would like to end up with a Minotaur Reckoner or 2, and that just doesn't leave much room for units like Armored Tusk Raider. But I mean, in this pack, we're either going to be taking Tusk Raider or Horns. They're both going to be pretty similar in quality, and so let's at least take the higher value card here in the Iron Ballista. Iron Ballista also plays extremely well with the Young Witches. Okay, with this one, Young Witch again with a recall. That's gonna be the most on synergy. Man, our curve, it looks like our curve is, well, we do have the Blade Twirlers. I guess it's not as bad as I want to lead on. Okay, so it is kind of interesting seeing Legion Marauder. We don't have any of the Marauder reinforcements, which is absolutely fantastic if you get, well, it's fantastic on his own, but if you have 1 Legion Marauder, it's pretty powerful. Here, I think we just have to take the Grenadier. I don't want anything to do with Singular Will here. Okay, all right, in our trades, what can we do? I think we're happy to just get rid of the Blade's Edge. We aren't really a Green Glade duo deck here, but, we have some of this early game aggressive kind of thing going on. I think we can kind of pull this off. Man, did we even get cards out of the new set? I know we didn't see a single Rose of the Desert, whatever it's called. Man, are these even? All right, well, welcome back to the pre Shurima drafts. Nothing new here. So I got to look through and see if we have any cards to upgrade. I think we're just like done with the commons here. I know the Blade Scout is probably upgraded, and Legion Grenadier are probably upgraded. I know Young Witches, maybe the Sentry is. Oh, Arachnid Sentry will be a good one. It's probably going to be upgraded. But let's see what we run into. Whew, that's close. I thought I was going to have to go and upgrade our Blade Twirlers, but not today. This is all good here. All right, so that's going to do it. The things we wanted didn't come together, but we'll see how we can roll this out. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I completely counting on that 5-1 to show up and just did not do it. So hopefully, like, if we manage to win a game, and then we can get a Yasuo, a second Yasuo in our deck, maybe it'll offer us up more along the lines of the cards that we're looking for. As you can kind of like see from like a small piece of this deck, you know, when we say to draft Yasuo, just go for elusives. You can see like the good piece of it. You have the all of those early game elusives, and then once you're being really aggressive with the elusives, having a 4/4 quick attack is a pretty good deal. But no complaints about a curve like this. It's gonna be as good as it gets. And look, good thing we premiumed this Sentry. Otherwise, our opening hand wouldn't have been full premium. So this is the kind of strategies people come here for. Okay, Trundle Talia. As you can see how terrible Steel Tempest is, you know, when are we ever going to find a time to play this or even want to play it? You know, if we're the ones out here being the aggro, it's very tough to find you know, an attack from our opponent where we want to play something like this. It's kind of interested in keeping this archer on the board. I mean, I would have attacked. I just kind of assumed he would make a trade. Okay. Swain to the party. I was wanting to get the Blade Twirler down, but it just wasn't in the cards. So this like reeks of either an Elixir of Iron or a Brittle Steel. I was going to say I'm okay with either of them. And here I would like to get the Blade Twirler on the board. We just can't attack with it here, and so it's kind of gross. Okay, let's at least just spread out the damage. I'm not particularly interested in saving any of these units, so let's at least get the extra point of damage in. But you know, there is an argument to try to get this Swain on the board, but I don't think that's what we need to be doing here. I'm pretty interested in just playing Will of Ionia on this Rhymefang Wolf. Maybe we should just hit it with a Steel Tempest so that we can Will of Ionia next turn. It's pretty close. Talia, okay. What if he just plays Trundle here? It's not scary. Our open is pretty good if we're able to just drop the Steel Tempest. I'd also just like to drop Green Glade Duo, but the Duo is only going to be like a 2 damage. It doesn't... Interesting. That's close. I guess we can do this, right? If we've finally decided on our play to be Steel Tempest, then we can add Duo to this turn. I don't think we can Will of Ionia more safely next turn. Oh, you're gonna get got so good. Oh man, play that Brittle Steel while you're at it. Oh man. Fine.
Here's our chance.
Alright, so at least all my bros be real big now. Not gonna have good blocks. If he has Brittle Steel, then he still has good blocks, but pretty good piece of aggression here. Sucks so much. I think if he's gonna like Brittle Steel, we just have to let it happen. Can't be spending 5 mana to just deal with this thing. We're gonna like win this game with elusives anyways. Yep.
Fear the power you do not see.
Close as that. That gets us up to 3, 4, 5, 7. We need an additional unit, and then we could hopefully just kill him with elusives. Like, I mean, we're probably gonna run into a real problem of him having like a harsh wind or something, but we're getting some outs. Okay, that's fine. Then we have to just Will of Ionia this Rhymefang Wolf. It's gonna hook a young witch or a duo or something. Oh no, this thing doesn't. Okay, we're still those mathematics still add up.
You dare oppose Noxus?
Right, 3 or 2. Yeah, we just need to draw a unit. Or Death's Hand would do it. Okay, alright. We have the deny, but that Swain is never winning us the game, right? We're either winning on this attack or we're losing. There's no reason to protect Swain.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
Alright, we got the lethal. Maybe he'll just play like a full mana Ricochet, right? That's what we'd like to see. Oh, there we go. There we go. Nice. Exactly. Show us why we don't care about that Swain. Correct. Alright, good game, friend. Good game. More wins than I was expecting with this deck, so it's already a successful trial. Okay, more young witches. Don't mind if I do. And then again, this is how you can see like why you just play elusives. Is we're getting all these young witches and Yasuo, Jewel Protectors, the kind of premier top end as far as elusives are concerned. But what we were trying to do, we have to go out of our way to try to do the Yasuo build around once per set, so that we can be like, oh yeah, that's still not any good, and then be done with it. But I mean, technically now, if we want to, oh boy, look at hands like this. If we want to get into technicalities, our opponent can play like Cataclysm, and then we can still Tempest on our turn. So there's things. Oh boy, this is fighting to be worst hand 2021. Oh man, why am I even playing with these cards? Oh, this is it. I know we're not like, I think the only games we're gonna win are when we're playing aggressive starts with elusives, but okay, get him.
Years take, experience gives.
Gonna make this retreat play when he comes in to hook our young witch. Stun a unit we don't care about. I'm on board with that. Probably just want to go ahead and do this.
I've learned a trick or two.
Is this ever worth a retreat? Oh. If he's doing this and not coming in with the duelist, I was curious if that meant if he had a combat trick. Appears as though he does not have a combat trick, but I think that's still pretty safe. With that Swain, we're not gonna be stunning anything anytime soon. We can try to get this Blade Twirler down next turn. Like, my big worry for next turn is just Jarvan. Looks like he's just playing the one copy, but it would be a bit of a problem if he opens next turn with Jarvan into Swain. Oh, okay.
Come on, Rib.
Yeah, let's start with this. He's just gonna take.
No honor in
What?
this.
What?
How dare you?
What? He hasn't played a landmark, so just. Okay.
Think you're fast? Cute.
Okay, and then we could have, Blades Edged this Lark Duelist to protect our Swain. We just don't care about Swain. He's gone. You lived a long and fruitful life, my friend, but
Prince Jarvan, you must
it's
come with me
not
on
ultimately something I think we need to be dealing
Let's
with.
see these fools off first, huh?
But now if we're just gonna come in and Blades Edge of this, that sounds much worse. I should have considered that. That was. I would much rather have a Swain than no Swain if it comes to this. I thought we would be using this Blade's Edge on something more useful. Here, I kind of want to bank. I have ideas we might need to be protecting stuff with Whimsy. So,
Carrots can fly, Rib.
fine. This dude doesn't like to have fun. I've noticed this about our opponent. He just doesn't like to have fun.
You witless cretin.
Okay. One turn away from Mina. Don't have like super exciting Minas here, but I mean, he has quick attack now. So
For justice, for Demacia.
perhaps do something cool. And then we just have actual nothing to do in our hands. This is kind of painful. Okay. At least Jarvan or Garen's is only like good attack unless he has more cards.
They will sing of our deeds.
Alright, this is like a this is never going well, but we can't just eat a 10 hit here. So gotta do something like this. Like he's gonna have like a riposte or something here, like every time. Oh, let's deny this, right? Or I think that's close. Like he is playing elites, so we do have to worry about things like judgment or reinforcements. But I think it's extremely likely that we just get a good whimsy in the future, right? I think it's more likely we get a good whimsy than we get a good deny. Yeah. Yep. Be cool if we could whimsy that.
We must not relent.
Not real excited about this. Exactly what we were looking for.
You'll wanna give
Ugh, man, if we could have like reset him one tick, we would have had such a chance here. But with him having rallies, not looking or feeling good for old Bust.
With a little time, I'll have a breakthrough.
Okay.
How bothersome.
He has no real incentive to run this Garen out. Not attacking with Garen into Mina. I guess he could, but doesn't feel like a situation where has a sharp sight or something.
For justice, for Demacia.
What do I know? Okay.
Last Sinatra May buys me a new sail. They picked those too slow, stupid.
Lead our charge.
Demacia, now and forever.
We have to whimsy Cythria. He attacks, we only have one blocker. We don't doubt a Rockhopper though. How does this work? We put he probably never hooks Blade Scout.
Off we go! Slow down!
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it. Well, I mean, we can go ahead. Whimsy Cythria. Not feeling real good about winning this one anymore, but yeah. We have to block with a young witch. I don't think we have anything here. Maybe we draw our second Mina and that means something. it doesn't seem too hot in this spot. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Okay. Good game, friend. Okay, well, Intimidating Roar is pretty on theme with what we're doing. I mean, it's the one activator you have to have with Yasuo. Like, I don't want this trial to just be like us saying, okay, I want to do a Yasuo build around, and then just have a bunch of, just go out of our way to put in all the elusives and try to get there from that point. It is a deck, but it's not doing Yasuo things, and so. If this Intimidating Roar wasn't here, if we couldn't get rid of the Blade's Edge, then I would be fine with trading Death's Hand for Greenglade Duo. But I'm not really ready to just like go all in for the duo for the purposes of just trying to get 4 wins together. So let's at least get the bad card out of our deck, get the actual Yasuo build 2 card in it. And I mean, we're not that far away from having a real deck. Like, I don't want 2 Minas, these are a little expensive. If I could trade out both Minas for a Yone and something cheaper, trade out Armored Tusk Rider, Whimsy can go. Homecoming hit landmark, yeah, that's kind of interesting. Things like Retreat can go, and then if we can just like push our curve down a little bit and find some more like Sentries and Desert Roses or whatever, then it's not like awful. Our deck's not like horrible. It's just we're a little bit short. We need a little bit of luck here. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like the pieces are here, right? We have the tools for this to, do everything with Yasuo. Also helps if you actually draw Yasuo as far as this is concerned. But I don't know. But we did mess things up in there with that Swain. Things probably would have looked a little differently if we just hadn't made that blatant misplay. Alright, let's look for some cheap stuff here. We want to keep a Death's Hand. It's kind of our only way to deal with this Twisted Fate. And Twisted Fate's actually a big problem for our deck, and that the AoE is so strong against what we're doing. But, I mean, maybe we should just be hard mulliganing for these 2 drops. Okay. This was not a good start, that previous game and this start. Picking up Minas is not what we're trying to do here. What an awkward set of draws.
Give it a whirl.
You ever want to take either of these down? I don't think so.
The treasure was in me the whole time.
This is certainly a collection of cards. He hit his nab. Wonder if he actually has any Targon besides Aphelios, or if he just hit a coin flip.
Heavy pockets, huh?
We have to play cards. Like, what else are we doing here? Okay. Sure. Okay. Give me a little something, deck. Something useful. Do we want to... So we can make like a young witch Sonic Wave kind of play. It seems better than just adding Swain. Swain's not doing anything.
Lulu! Where'd she go?
Please, Bob.
I don't really want to get invested in this slot bot. We can't just return it to his hand and reset all its stats, so I don't want to be the Mystifying Magician. Okay.
This way! Go!
Okay. And I think we should stay banked. I mean, I don't feel like we need to be, popping the slot bot immediately, but
Function call. Celebrate.
We made it, Rim!
okay, there's a much better choice, a much better target for our Death's Hand. Let's add the Blade Twirler. We can probably just ignore the slot bot for a turn, but now we have to Death's Hand this young witch. So we're accepting that we're taking this hit.
The mysteries unveiled. Clap harder.
Guess we can't just Death's Hand this next turn.
Zoom!
Searching for suck winners.
I need a volunteer.
Want to see these moves up close?
Seems reasonable. Could be some awkward things like make it rain, but
I dare you.
certainly getting the advantage on this board now.
Captain.
Welcome.
Okay. These little things don't play too well into our quick attacks, so add the Tusk Raider. We're still gonna have our Death's Hand mana. I'm intending on taking down this young witch, and then
Deal me in.
that red card. Okay.
Who says I don't share?
So at least the big thing here, he doesn't have any answers to this Tusk Raider, and we have to punch something in. We can have a pretty reasonable Mina on our next attack. It might be our saving grace if we add Blade Twirler next turn, return 3 units with Mina. It doesn't have Overwhelm, but we have a ton of damage, and we should have a ton of width on him when we return so many units. Maybe he just takes it, right? You just take this hit right to the face. Okay.
Who dares swim?
What do you think about giving up on Twisted Fate to protect our Iron Ballista? I think I'm actually pretty okay with this. Yeah, keep some kind of presence. We will ideally just be returning this Twisted Fate to his hand before he's ever able to level up.
You win.
Louise! To me!
By my hand will Noxus rise.
We'd rather have the Twirler. Probably have to put Armored Elephant in front of his big boy here. I think this is fine,
Don't let the fluffy tails
depending on how he lines this up. If he gives his Chipwreck Order quick attack, then might change my tune. I think this is fine. Too much damage to just take. Alright, my man, well, you're about to get all the treasures.
Oh yeah.
We'll let him keep Twisted Fate. I can't imagine he ever flips this anytime soon. So I don't want to send the Twisted Fate back to his hand and then have him Gold Card. Gold Card would not be horrible, but it's a little bit too much value to just return Twisted Fate. Still just does not feel good. At least, I mean, He's 100% blocking Mina. He can't block Swain. Then we're only looking to deal 10 damage. I mean, hopefully we can get in like enough overwhelm damage that like next turn we can kill him with elusives. But he's got Young Witch. So wonder what it would feel like if we had a Yasuo. just dealing 2 damage to all this stuff would be so much. Even like I know he's not flipped yet, but it's so big. I assume that he just plays like Shipwreck Order here, which he would be looking to put in front of Swain. This Swain attack is actually just not any good anymore. But do we have to do it anyways so that we get our chunk damage in? Say this blocks Swain. This thing blocks Ina. Then he either just takes 10 or blocks something with Twisted Fate and takes 8. I think that's fine.
Edge or perish.
Yeah. Probably be like Herder, he's a champion, I gotta keep him. Take 10. Okay. So I don't think we're out of it. I think we can still do this.
Where'd she go?
Please, Dom.
Alright, and then here's our elusive path for next turn. Fuck, really?
Carrots can fly, Rib.
Okay.
All day. Ow.
It's fine, right? Yep. That's good. One blocker on these would take 14. No, we can block. We have 2 blockers for these now. It takes 7. But so this blocks here. Young Witch blocks. I think we just have to go ahead and add our other Young Witch.
We made it, Rib.
I want to go home.
Lady Luck is
Okay,
smiling.
he did this attack poorly. Like we can.
Why, hello there. Do you like magic?
Okay. All right. So we can still we have him at 2 with a Green Glade duo. So let's see if we can find our way out of this. Probably want to play the duo now so we can open. I don't want this thing to die to a parlay.
Full speed ahead.
All right. Oh, salvage. Okay. All right. Yeah, so much animations for what's ultimately gonna make me die of sadness. Okay. Whew, got there. Oh man. There's just so much stuff coming at us. All right, Yasuo wins again. You're doing it, my man. You're doing it. So let's see. Like, I'm almost tempted to trade out the Ballista for the Iron Flock, but this is one of the highlights of our deck when we have 4 Young Witches and curving it into an Iron Ballista. So I don't think we can do that. I don't think we can make any of these trades. I think our deck is just like too expensive now. I don't see us like I could see an argument for adding Homecoming because Steel Tempest is so bad, but I think it's okay to hang on to. I just don't want any more of this expensive shit in here. I'm getting real tired of these draws where it's like, we have like turn 3 and we finally play a 3 and then our hand is like an average of 4.5. Like, I feel like I should probably be adding Homecoming, but it's just can't do it. Okay. I just don't. I don't know what it takes for the game to offer me some stuns. Right? It's brutal. Okay. Oh god, Jesus! What is this? Have we seen this? We're playing the full Yasuo build around and just don't see him until the 5th game. Whew, man. Did we? Is that right? Did we actually pick him up in one of the early games and just attack with him? I don't remember. It seems like Yasuo hasn't been to the party today.
See what we see, soldier.
Okay. Reasonable to put the Grenadier in front of the Sand Soldier.
Forward. Sure about that?
The young witch going.
We made it, Rim! I wanna go home!
I think it's okay to be like less greedy here. You know, if we're gonna get
The desert.
Yasuo down in a turn, okay, especially since he's added this thing.
This way! Go!
Tooth and claw.
Okay, this looks like the exact board that Yasuo was built to interact with. It's gonna be like, and ricochet. Okay.
Follow the wind, but watch your back. Welcome to try.
Looking for this?
Okay. So then we can add young witch next turn. People always gotta be fucking lame. This is okay. We have another one in our hand. That's kind of tempting. I think he's probably gonna have a real tough time dealing with this. As just watch me move over to the elusives plan. I feel so bad for you, Yasuo. Faker would be upset.
The Emperor commands, the land obeys.
Okay.
We live in hallowed
You
times.
missed. Should have made it premium, bro. Should have made it premium. We learned our lesson with Golden Ambassador years ago. This unit has to be premium if you want it to do anything. Oh shit, that's a Jarvan. Oh. Can't have this happening. Let's take a 5 hit. Okay.
With me! I go where the road takes me. Big blade.
Okay, alright, we get a reasonably full board here. Got this big old elusive in our hand. We're gonna be able to
You have my back.
Will of Ionia, whatever he determines that he should be trying to challenge next turn. This is looking good, right?
Here's our chance.
Holy shit's gonna have quick attack. Oof. Oh, buddy. Lame, dude. Okay. Sure.
For the king.
Off we go! Slow down!
Alright, enjoy.
Zoom! This way! Go!
We can get some good attacks too. Get those Sand Soldiers out of here.
I have urgent news!
Okay. Alright, this game was refreshing, right? He killed off our Yasuos, but we're still doing all this cool shit. It feels much better than the depths of despair we were in that previous game. Okay. Woo! We won a game. Let's get this third Yasuo. Maybe he'll have a concussive palm with him. So man, it's just like the actual real cards we want. Just nowhere to be seen. Boom, concussive palm and Yone. All right, smash. Now if we can just trade this garbage out for for good stuff, we'll be set. Man, what a struggle. All right, reasonable curve. I probably don't want to deal with whimsies. You know, the things that worry me with like LeBlanc Sivir are LeBlanc and Sivir and their quick attack. All of their units we can typically just kill. You know, there is the 5/4 can't block guy, but otherwise, we just kind of kill everything. And this dude plays a Rose of the Thorn and gets his Guile. I'm gonna be so mad. just we're out here just trying to do stuff, trying to do it right. Dude shows up with his reputation deck with Freylord in it, starts playing Rose of the Thorns. Oh man, I'm gonna get salty.
Let me show you what I can do.
All right, I'll take that 2-hit.
Delicious.
I'm not gonna open here. I want to see what he presents. Good chance that, I mean, if he throws out something like LeBlanc or any of his actual champions, he's just never blocking Iron Ballista. I think we're safe to wait a turn and to do this Blade Scout Young Witch. Get...
This way. Go.
Okay. That can't feel good. So if he has like a Brittle Steel to trade out for a 1-drop, then you're completely fine. Oh, just get the win? Boom. Boom, that feels good. He's gonna payday. This is gonna be a big payday LeBlanc or something.
I hate having to put my face on.
We'll just make a retreat block. Hopefully he doesn't find Overwhelm. Challenger, okay. Spell shield. It's pretty good. That's not a bad LeBlanc.
My move.
Okay, and then we'll show them how we do the quick attack challenges next turn. See if we can be a little bit more successful. I ultimately feel a little scared, but you know, if he has like a Brittle Steel or something, we can just Sonic Wave, or we can Resonating Strike after the fact.
This'll take the chill off.
They'll never see me coming.
Yeah, this looks good.
Come on, Rib. This way. Go.
Catch me if you can.
That looks like an attack, my friends. All right, doing all kinds of Yasuo things here. Just go. All the Yones all the time. All right. I mean, our open's looking pretty good. You have to do something here to be a little bit more intimidating.
Secure the kill.
Fear the
He wants to get a hook onto Swain and play some cards. I don't really care. It seems like, you know, his probable course of action is to send the Glory Seeker into Iron Ballista, because that's the actual scary card here. Okay. Sure. Like if he spends another payday to get, +2 attack, takes down Swain, congratulations. I think the ultimate scary unit for him is the Ballista. Tough.
I'll cut them apart.
A young witch.
You're mine.
This one's on the house.
Okay, then what's the scary things he could do? He could play like a Ricochet. I don't think we're worried about that. I think we still beat Ricochet. That this does if he's playing Fragrlord for some reason, so if he has a Harsh Winds, can help us get around that. Beautiful, you're very expensive.
Come on, Rib.
Down from the trees. Closing in on the mark.
Okay. Spread out the damage. This is only, saves here would be via like Brittle Steel, and this Swain's got to come in for a 6-hit. Yeah. Cool. Right, all right. Another victory. Mark 1 in the W column. Nice. Here we go. We're gonna get a stun unit here. I'm feeling good about it. We got a concussive palm in the last pick. Feeling good about it here. Am I gonna do it? Am I really gonna pick up a Steel Tempest for the Armored Tusk Rider? So bad. Like, if we're being realistic, we want the Minotaur Reckoner, but whew, our curve is so bad, and we just don't want this in here. Oh god, I don't know why anyone even bothers watching this stuff. Dude out here drafting Steel Tempests. But I mean, granted, if there's ever a format where Steel Tempest was a real card, it has to be this one, right? If we can get our opponent to say like spend an exhaust and we get a Steel Tempest, or they spend a whole bunch of mana and trying to get Jarvan going, sure. I mean, occasionally you run into hands like this. Feels like this is what we say every single game. You run into hands like this, but all right. There's our boy. Love running this, stun everything with 4 less power against the dude playing LeBlanc Sivir. It's a pretty top-notch combo for those of you keeping track at home.
Cut them apart.
Pretty top-notch. Opponent's playing 5 attack matters into our intimidating roars. Okay, I mean, I think we can get some moves happening here.
Let's make
Okay, I think we're safe to offer it up.
Delicate fun.
If he just like opens on us next turn, then we have the Death's Hand, and then ideally, kind of the idea that I had here was like he was going to play a card, we are going to play Yasuo, and then Steel Tempest down as Glory Seeker. I don't think that's like overly clever.
Nothing's lost. It's just waiting to be found. It's a live.
You're mine.
He hasn't played a single unit this game that we could hit with an intimidating roar.
Remember me.
Okay, so how much danger are we in here? Well, we don't have like the 7 mana to both Palm and Death's Hand, so I don't think he can play too much to scare us with this Yasuo.
Nothing can stop me. Blade never gets any lighter.
Okay. I was trying to think like the things that start to get like moderately worrisome is if he's able to probably just have to you need to take this down. I mean never gonna flip, right? Let's just go ahead and get rid of this thing. Try to get him to add more to the board before he tries to come in. No, I had a thought there and I lost it. I was gonna say we're gonna have trouble interacting with this Sivir anyways. So like these 2 damage hits aren't enough to deal with her or this thing, and so I think getting rid of using the Death's Hand is okay. Moderately interested in throwing a Arachnid Sentry in front of this. Like, Sivir is the actual scary unit here, but I think we can deal with this. We can just Whimsy this Trifarian.
Autographs after the fight, kid.
Autographs after. Oh god.
Danger pays.
This is awesome!
So he has the 1 spinning axe. I'm trying to, you know, to piece together a reasonable, intimidating roar. I think we can just like do this. Concussive Palm. We're gonna start getting flipped Yasuo hits on this stuff. I'd love it. We had a card that we could add to the board before we did something here, but can't be the case. Should get Draven in the biggest fan, unless he has another combat trick. So bad here. Like the worst deck ever to... Oh, really? He has vision? And he played it on the wrong card. Okay. I guess we can at least have that happen. All right, we'll take our wins where we can get them. We can't have everything go wrong when we're playing Yasuo. We gotta have some things go right. I mean, this tech seems good here. Siphoning Strike, ugh. Okay. It's pretty bad. Is she gonna flip? Yeah. What did he find? It's 1+1. Okay. Alright, well I mean at least we have a Whimsy for his unit here, and he's kind of drained out of cards, so if we can do something with these Minas. It's certainly not as intimidating when when we don't have Yasuo anymore, but okay, she's just gonna give quick attack spell shield to everything. But we have to do this Whimsy preemptively. Not good. I don't want to give any impressions that this is good here. Oh, he still has Guile. Ugh.
Heads will roll. You are my prey.
It's a living.
This seems like a horrible attack, but take what we can get here. Have to block Sivir. Probably rather would have the Stun Spider here. Maybe we can play Retreat on it. What a fucking world to be in. Maybe we could play Retreat. Oh man, that's brutal. Okay. So we do have hopes. Some hopes and dreams. We'll
You'll wanna give me some
break
space,
Spell Shield and then maybe get
Might not
a
have
Mina
legs,
shot next turn.
they'll fly.
Right? If we get in the spot where he doesn't open on us and then we can play Mina
I
again,
have my orders.
it'd be good.
Nothing personal.
Okay, alright.
To serve the greater good.
Oh man, don't open. Play a card. Play a card. Play a card.
They'll never see it. Try
The have-it-alls. Come on, dude. I don't know. We could have attempted to deal with that Sivir earlier. I was thinking of playing cards on her and breaking a spell shield and doing stuff. It just seems like you're getting like 2 damage out of your Yasuo. I don't want to have to spend 3 cards on that Sivir. It's just like way too much of an investment. Okay, so as far as this goes, you know, I'd be okay with picking up more Iron Ballistas, but I think these 1-drops are ultimately pretty important. I mean, we have 2. That's all we're getting here, but we have these turns where like such a big portion of our deck is Young Witch. Just going into a turn where, you know, ideally if we're on the evens, we'll be able to attack with the Young Witch plus a unit. And then if we're on the odds, then we kind of like have to have a unit with Young Witch or we just fall so far behind. So I won't trade out any of these units, even though the Iron Ballista is probably an upgrade. Then I think this Calling Strike for Death's Hand is an upgrade. And hopefully this will at least push us out of this fucking Mega Keg deck where all the Death's Hands live and Calling Strike where that's Disruption Yasuo, and we'll find some of these cards we actually want. Okay. Just went to get some water. I realized I knew this was a mistake. I knew you weren't supposed to do this. I knew you weren't supposed to put like dish soap in the dishwasher. Like, this isn't new to me, but like had like a pan with some like burnt on stuff on it, and so I was like, well, let's just give it a little help, you know, we'll put some dish soap on this burnt on stuff and, you know, maybe that'll make it come out. I went to get a water and there's just a shitload of dish soap in the floor. All the soap bubbles in the floor. It's like, oh, this is almost tempting for an intimidating roar, but I think we can let it go. It's more of a late game card, but it's like one of these times, like, man, I'm glad the wife wasn't home. It's like, I'll tell her because it's funny, but it's like, you know, you don't want to get called out for that. You don't want to be like, hey, dipshit, what the fuck's wrong with you? You have a graduate degree out here putting dish soap in the dishwasher. I can say, wait a minute, I know what's up. All right, nonetheless, we're back. Things are ready. I think we're good to Young Witch. I mean, if he's going to get us with a, you know, unit plus exhaust, then, you know, we got. But it doesn't seem to be the case, and he didn't lead with Rockhopper, so it makes me feel pretty good about adding Legion Grenadier here. We can just trade it with just about anything. Makes our smaller units still scary. And look, this is pretty good. It's good stuff, right?
Think before you strike.
Hang on, we should have done that the other way. We didn't need... Well, that damage is pretty good. Not gonna lie. There's no 2 ways around that.
Everything's better with company.
Says you.
Follow the wind,
Okay.
but watch your back.
Love to see him add another unit. I really would just want to like Intimidating Roar next turn.
Unseen.
Okay, we can get all the... Well, we can stun him. We can kill the duo. Stun his friend. Is that like good enough? It's probably just not good enough.
Carrots can fly,
So let's just like act like we're gonna do a little something here, and ultimately we were just gonna pass. So we can add Blade Twirler.
Quick footwork, fast strikes.
Don't let the
Zed
fluffy
Azir,
tails
he's just
fool
got Ravoon in here. Why does he have all these rando Targon cards? Okay, now here's where we're able to like start doing stuff. I think this is gonna line up to be a good intimidating roar next turn. Here's the beauty in Steel Tempest. You can't preemptively stun Zed. Alright. This kind of sucks. I mean, at least it kills his Green Glade duo and shuts down this attack, but we were certainly hoping and expecting to get a little bit more out of this. Oh, fuck. That certainly makes this worse.
Underestimate. I dare you.
Right.
Hang on, Thorn.
And should we have attacked the previous turn, the way this is playing out? I don't think so, but... Okay.
Piercing rays!
We go as one.
Okay, let's take the 6. Pretty sweet Steel Tempest, huh?
Here's our chance.
Oh, shit. Okay, at least here comes a big open. He's got to do something here, right? So you into Yasuo, and Big Boy. Okay. I guess I guess it doesn't ultra matter. Ooh. Oh man, he's just gonna let us kill him? Are we gonna kill him? 8, 9, 10? No, we're a little short. Alright, that's a pretty good spot to be in, though. We can handle this. We can concussive palm the Zed so he doesn't overwhelm. We get some blocks in on this other stuff, get Mina going, maybe even flip a Yasuo while we're at it. we can deal with this. Okay. Is this an open? It'd be so sweet if this wasn't an open.
Hang on, Fuzzball.
Okay, good stuff.
Underestimate. I dare you.
Off we go. Roll out.
Got 2 elusives to stop his elusives. I think this should be care about Azir, right?
And weaken Shurima. Do not
Can always just play Will of Ionia now. Let's kind of flip our Yasuo. I was kind of intent on. Okay. All right, good stuff. We didn't have to play Mina.
One step closer to redemption.
Okay. So trading out Swain seems reasonable, but here's a Arachnid Sentry. We gotta pick up more of these stuns and have them be on units. So I'd love to get rid of Swain. Watt wants to give me a Lulu. I guess it sees that we have 4 young witches. And that lines up enough with Lulu. You got 4 young witches and a Whimsy. That's all in her card pool, but it doesn't want to be like, bro, let's stun. Okay, something like this. Maybe we draw into a young witch. Do we ever just swap out this Iron Ballista? Probably not. Okay, that's reasonable. I mean, we got all these good 2s, though. I mean, we got 4 young witches and 2 of this guy. We haven't made too many Blade Twirler plays this game, but you know, he's part of the team. Okay.
Down from the trees!
Come on board. Look, if he has a spell, I'll take it. And then, you know, just shuffling the Yetis in isn't that scary.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
And then here, I think, I kind of want to open. Yeah, I think we have to open. It's so easy for him to just play any 3/3. Like Freylord has so many 3/3s for 3. That, you know, he's star charting now, but that's because we already attacked. I think it's very easy for him to just add, you know, Avarosian Trapper or play an Icevale Archer or something. I think we're good to just bank the mana. We'll get our aggression in at some point. Then Trundle is too strong here, so let's go ahead and attack. Try to get this big chunk in. He can play Trundle. We can upgrade our Sentry. Yeah, Ravoon, same thing as Trundle. Well, except we can Whimsy Ravoon. That's the difference, but functionally it's still the same. Oh, Steel Tempest. But no, this is pretty good for us, right? We're gonna come down and just stun something, and then have Yone next turn.
Here's our chance.
Okay.
Yasuo, show yourself.
Show yourself, Yasuo. This is pretty good, right? This is good for us. It's tough for this guy to deal with. He wants to like harsh winds it, but then that's hard to add units to the board. Might just be over. Did we get there? Oh, it feels so good if we got there. Okay. Okay. Is he going to play this thing and a harsh winds? Ooh, what? Okay. It's like, do we have like a Steel Tempest play or a retreat play? I don't think we do. Alright, so I don't think we win the... okay, maybe we do just win. I was like, I don't think we win if he's playing cards, but... We make it to the final battle? Oh, shit. Shit. Got there. Cool, cool. So, okay. What can we do here? We don't want Zephyr Sages. I think that, well, it's not in any... My understanding of the way these trade pick works is you can get trade picks for any card in the game. There might be a few cards that aren't in the game, like Mushroom Cloud, but I think you can get everything in the game, and that's why we could see a Zephyr Sage. But Zephyr Sage doesn't live in any of the card pools. But, I mean, there's still some cards like the thing that makes like all your burst spells cost 1 less or whatever. I still haven't seen those in Expedition, so I might not be 100% accurate on that. But Blade Twirler is fine. It's arguably not better than the Grenadier, but I think I'm okay here. And then we can't take any of these. It's all just too expensive. And then the non-expensive we don't want. We don't want retreats here. Okay, so we can trade out retreat for Concussive Palm, which seems good. I want to hang out to our 1 and our 2 and our 3, so we can skip all of these. These ratings, no, I don't want to trade. And Yasuo number 4. All right, easy. So yeah, I mean, this has been a trial. I had like way different hopes for how this was going to turn out. I still, I think, you know, if you want to have the most success, you just draft the elusives. But I really was hoping to see some of those things that generate guiles, and you know how we can kind of adapt to the new format with those things. And game disagreed. We didn't see any of those things the entire time. Okay. How does this opponent? I gotta stop stretching, ready myself in case I gotta click cancel. No poor robots today. There we go. Okay, Swain with Azir. Interesting. Yes, I mean, technically, I guess the Sand Soldiers, you know, that last breath, that Nexus strike, counts as a tick up for Azir. So let's do this. Let's hang on to the Sonic Wave. Excuse me, just in the event that we need to quick attack challenge something down. But not quite an aggressive opener here, but it's got a lot of power to it.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
Maybe. Probably should just played Young Witch. She's going to guaranteed get in as an elusive. Yeah.
Got something for 'em?
But still pretty reasonable start here. We'll get our Yasuo down. Start doing stuff. It's the best part of every game, right? That part of the game where you just start doing stuff. Sure.
Zigged. Should have sagged.
Yeah, so don't think Legion Grenadier is worth a Sonic Wave. We'll see if he adds a Azir or something. If he puts a Azir down and we can get a hook in, then cool. But otherwise, let's just bank that mana.
War Mason, reporting for duty.
Doing those Swainy things. Okay.
Victory at any cost!
We gotta just spend these. I don't want these. We should. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna hang on to the Yasuo one, and then I'm gonna actually block with Yasuo, and then try to steal Tempest. Or no, I'm gonna concussive palm. Then I'm gonna play real Steel Tempest. Try to kill these. So if something goes wrong here, like if he has a guillotine or something for Yasuo post combat, then we still have our Yasuo. But then this, full clear is board.
Look what you did.
And so yeah, I think it's pretty reasonable to assume our Yasuo is going to die to like a Scorched Earth or a Nox and Guillotine or something. That's okay, especially if he plays it here, right? That means he's not adding units to the board. Yep.
Clear my name.
And I'm kind of okay with just like letting him hang out for a while. Well,
The Yordle here's with me.
not when we draw like this, but
Vision to see what others cannot.
yeah, so we'll just hit with our elusives.
Death is like the wind, always by my side.
This way. Go.
This is pretty reasonable though, right? I mean, I think we're in a fantastic spot. We're gonna Will of Ionia away the Swain and then follow up with Yone next turn.
We three will have blood.
Or we can just use Yone now. So how would we want to do that? Or would we rather just have like a good open next turn? I think we'd rather have the good open next turn.
Suffer! No escape!
Spare no detail.
I see every move.
Maybe we should just take this damage. I don't know. This is kind of awkward. He can, if he has one of the Shurima combat tricks to save his Black Rose Spy, I don't want to just get blasted for a ton of damage.
Secrets.
Even I have good days.
Everything's easier behind a mask.
We messed this up. We have to stop and ask ourselves now if we messed it up or not. This is okay. I want to hit the little one first so we put the full 5 damage onto Swain.
Yone,
And then if he Guiles, I mean, who cares? we win this game if he plays Guile, so...
I will follow this path until the end.
Okay. Okay, I think we're there. Okay.
Come on, Rim. They'll never see us coming.
So I want to do it like this. I want to get this quick attack challenge in. So if he has like a stun or removal spell or something to deal with our Yone, then we just still have a great board. Cool, we got there. I was really surprised that we got beyond 0 wins with this. Pretty surprised we got beyond 1 win, but hot damn, sometimes you just do it, right? I'd stop to think, when I was out there, cleaning up the dish soap mess that, I kind of like to think, how you get your edges. Like if we imagine that there'd be a world where there was actually like a ranked expedition, the things that you can end up doing to where, we have a big pile of garbage like this, and we know what we're getting into with Yasuo, the things we're looking to do with Yasuo, how to make the build around work, and the things I look at is, I was expecting this to be like a, at best like a 3 winner, and then, be able to kind of point out, well, the things that we're trying to teach here, and hopefully what you're able to do with yourself, and hopefully what you look at as a victory is, if you take a deck with a, your average player, your gold player, your platinum player, whoever would have, taken to like 1 win, 2 wins, and then we're able to take it to like 3 or 4. That's where we get our edge. And, we don't get to, 7 wins every time. That's ultimately not a great gauge or indicator of success. And I think that's, one of those things that you can find yourself at least doing in Constructed, as to where you're getting these little edges, you're pushing your win percentage up 2 or 3 or 4%. And, that's what separates you from the, lower tiered players. But ultimately, there's no ranked expedition, and ultimately we took this one to 7 when I didn't expect it. But that's kind of one of the things I was ready to talk about, and then didn't have to because we just went so far, and then I still just talked about it anyway. So there we are. And so, yeah, with Yasuo. So the things with this, ideally, if you want to have like consistently strong decks, you're just going to draft elusives. That's where, all of our really strong plays and all of our really strong draws were. They were all centered on Young Witch, and then having, some kind of curve where, we play Blade Scout Young Witch into a unit they can't deal with, and then, you just have really good combats, really aggressive combats and good combats. And that deck is just much easier to put together if you say, okay, I'm not playing Steel Tempest, I'm not playing Yone, I'm not playing Mina, I'm not playing Intimidating Roar. Just get that garbage out of here and just let me play these really good early game elusives. And that's actually how I recommend you draft Yasuo. And he's not really actually that terrible in that sense, right? For a 4/4 quick attack for 4 is a pretty good deal. And then if at some point throughout the trial you kill a unit with a concussive palm, then congratulations, you got some additional Yasuo value. But that's the way we typically look at it. But every set, without fail, I do like to pursue seeing if we can't build around Yasuo, see if things have gotten any better, see if he plays well with Leona and Sneaky Zeebles, or what can we do with these new cards. So they seem to add like 1 stun every set, and it just feels like he's like 1 card away from being good every set. And so my hope here was with I don't know, we played against it twice. All of our opponents got this stupid card, and we didn't get to see any of them. But where's LeBlanc? Talk about the one I'm talking about, Thorn of the Rose, the one that we're really interested in, this 5 attack unit for 3 that adds a guile to your hand. That's the new way to get the stuns, what we were intending on doing. But that didn't come together, so it kind of is what it is. But in general, when it comes to Yasuo, again, like the big things that we're really looking for are the stuns. And ultimately, like my problem with the Yasuo build around and my problem with the stuns is you can see it easily with even just the release of Empires of the Ascended. So let's say that we're going to take a peek at the Renekton card pool. And so, Renekton doesn't do anything special on his own, much in the same way as Yasuo. Like, they're both 4/4s for 4. One has, an ability if he challenges, he might have Overwhelm, I don't remember. Yasuo has Quick Attack, that's pretty comparable. But, if we're going to look at the Renekton enablers, the Renekton activators, you've got Rockhopper, extremely good. And then even beyond Rockhopper, you've got things like Exhaust and Ruthless Predator that are just fantastic on their own. You don't need to be in some kind of like specific deck doing specific things to make a card like Exhaust good. But like in a deck like this, like Steel Tempest is just like garbage, right? We very rarely want to just be like, okay, I'm in this random elusives decks. I'm in some like Karma Lulu elusives deck, and now I've got all these Steel Tempests. Like, you never want that. That sounds horrific and terrible. And so, like, that's like ultimately the big problem with the stuns is, on their own, you expect them to be a little below average on their own, and then above average to a lot above average whenever your payoff is happening, and it's just not the case with the stuns. These tend to just be way too bad, and so that's ultimately the problem with Yasuo. But should you want to pursue this strategy on your own, I think we did go after it, the correct way, where the most important stuns for you to be finding are the units that generate them. So you're going to be looking for Arachnid Sentries, you're going to be looking for Concussive Palms, you're going to be looking for Rose of the Thorn. Those are going to be the big three that you're really looking for, so you can actually get on the board, and then also just pick and choose a little bit better as when you want to deploy those stuns. You're not limited to just playing them when your opponent's attacking, like with Steel Tempest. And so, that's the big thing. The other thing that you really have to look out for with this deck is that you don't end up with just like too much expensive stuff where, you've got 2 Minas, 2 Yones, and 2 Minotaur Reckoners, along with an Intimidating Roar and a Decisive Maneuvers. Maybe you have like 2 Will of Ionias and a Homecoming. Like, it is very, very easy for this deck to just be curved way too high. And so that's why we spent all that time with all these trade picks being like, well, I'm not picking up another 6. I want to trade away the Tusk Rider, trade away the Deny. I thought we got rid of some more of these expensive cards than what's shown here, but that was ultimately the ideal that we had. We most certainly weren't trading away any of our cheaper cards, and we were actively looking for the cheapers. And so ultimately, pretty important thing to note. And then, otherwise with the curve, do pick up, recognize where you're good. Where Yasuo was good is if, Fey Blade Twirler and Young Witch, and those also, interact pretty well with Arachnid Sentry and these other threes. As you can imagine with the Young Witch, if you follow up with, Rose of the Thorn, a 6-attack quick attack is a pretty good deal. And so, she plays extremely well. And this is where, your power spike is. You have a lot of extremely good 2-drops here. You need to be getting your stuns out of your units. You don't want to be just playing spells because they make stuns, and then just be real mindful of your mana curve so that you don't end up with this super expensive monstrosity. And then before I go, the last thing to call out was how bad was Intimidating Roar. I mean, we had some games where it was good. It's just running into like Reputation and Shurima being on their bonus display for this patch 2.4 as well. Intimidating Roar is just extremely awkward given this current format, and so we'll have to really take note of that in the future. Nonetheless, that is going to do it for us today. I do think we have a handful of rewards to click on, so let's take a peek at the old event pass, see what shows up. Oh, all right. Well, this is easy. Vanguard Defender's unit. So you have been leveled. Welcome to the team. What else do we got here? Not quite ready for that one. Got the champion wild card, and that is gonna do it. So, I hope you all enjoyed our stunningly successful run. You maybe learned a thing or two along the way. Had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.